Welcome back to Wild and Weird Radio Live. We've got a great show planned for you guys. Let's see who all we got. Julie Bug. Wow, right out of the gate, Julie Bug. Holy crap. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's keep it wild, weird, and free. You are amazing. Thank you. Thank you. We've got Ike the Fob Daddy Fobber hanging out. James Nelson is in the house. That's me. You got Lisa. How's it going, Lisa? Good to see you. Julie Bug's obviously here. She's the donor of the moment. You're killing it, Julie. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. Donna Ho. And we've got Larry Hose. Happy Thursday to you too, my friend. Finding the Trackways in the house. Eyes in the Woods. Terry McCullough. CJ Boker. Nancy White. What's going on, Nancy? Good to see you out there. We've got Boone Fullwood. Best part of the week right here. Thank you. Thank you. Glad to have you here with us as well, Boone. It's always good to have you hanging out, man. Finding the Trackway. I was looking for the trail cam wood knock, but since my file system is an early American throne, I'm not sure where I put it. Hey, I feel you there. What's weird is some of the audio that we have on file, I've got it and the files are there, but the files will not play. I have no idea what's going on with that. Spooky Appalachia. Joe, yes, that's right. It is me yet again. I'm waiting on my co-hosts to show up here tonight. We've got Adam Good will be on here with me here in a moment. And Brandon should be hopping on here sometime soon. And is anyone else under nadir warnings? Yes, we are once again under tornado warnings here where we're at as well. Spooky. They're not over till 11. And currently the flooding is the major problem. There's a ton of regional flooding right now around my house. Luckily, I'm up on top of a mountain. And if we flood here, most of the state is no longer existing. So luckily, I don't have to worry about that here. But there's a lot of water. A lot of water going around for the folks down in the lower areas. Not in Vermont. Yeah, thankfully you guys aren't getting hammered up there the way we are with this rain. It's been miserable the last couple of days. So how many of you guys enjoyed the eclipse? This is the post-eclipse show. So Ada Cox, holy cow. Ada, hey, thanks for joining us, by the way. And hope you guys have enjoyed the eclipse. Ada, I hope you guys got to see what we could see of it. Nikki Bennett's in the house. How you doing? Ada, we appreciate you. I just want you to know that. I can't wait to hang out with you and Nancy and everybody over at the workshop coming up here in just a little over a month. My dog went nuts during it and ordered Grubhub. Well, I wish my dog would order me Grubhub. That'd be nice. Donna Ho loved the eclipse. Larry Ho says, I'm angry that the big rock didn't come. Me too. Me too, Larry. Right there with you, man. I was in the woods said, I saw the eclipse in the Adirondacks. Totality was 1,000 times better than I thought it would be. Absolutely amazing. That's fantastic, man. I can't imagine a better place to watch it than in the Adirondacks just because of all the wildlife that's around you. You would be able to experience the full volume of everything, just be there and then not. And oops, I think I was on the wrong video. Well, we're here. Good to have you. Good to have you. Donna Ho said, I watched it through a welding mask, so it looked green, but it was really cool. Yeah, that's how I watched the 2017 one. I couldn't find it. Like my welding mask was somewhere in the garage, but I couldn't get to it. But yeah, another one of our friends was over in the Adirondacks too. Todd Neese, he was living out that way these days, and he was in the Adirondacks for it as well. So that was pretty cool. Nancy White, thank you, Nancy. You are awesome. You're going to get some scotch at least. Ada Cox says the eclipse, we couldn't see it that well, but wow, what good energy it had. That's good. Men in Black said, greetings, primates. What's your meteorological status? Wet. Wet. That's what it is currently. We are currently just soaked. Oz said the owls were hooting during totality. That's awesome. That would have been so cool. Hey, we've got Daniel Lee from over in the UK. He's still awake and jumped on. What's going on, Daniel? How you doing, buddy? Then Lisa was driving, so hello to everyone I missed. That's good. Oddly enough, there were some folks just like less than a mile from my house, right? And my neighbor is a state trooper, and he told me about a wreck that had occurred, and it was involving someone who was wearing their eclipse glasses while they were driving. Can't make this stuff up. Lisa was rushing home to make it to the chat on time. Well, Lisa, I'm glad you made it. Then, yep, Larry Hose agrees. Wet. Donna Ho, yeah, keeping it free. Then, oh, you're heading to Planet Fitness. I'm barely fit. My clothes. I probably should go to Planet Fitness myself. So, hey, we got Bigfoot, Littlefoot. What's going on? It might rain later. It really over in your way? Y'all should have. The storm figured it would be moving over you guys the way before it came to me. Yeah, right. That's me too. Me too. Too lazy to get my tail end to the gym. Terry McCullough, today's been a rainy season in East Tennessee. Yeah, I've noticed the whole East Coast has kind of been getting bombarded. What is this we have here? Mr. Good, my friend, what is up? What is good? Oh, I've got no audio on you, man. Can you hear me? Larry Ho says the barred owls were going crazy. I had to call back to them. That's awesome. Octopus is here. Well, Adam is. Oh, there we go. Adam got him sorted. What's up, man?
Not much.
That's good. It's better than the alternative, right? Like, well, you were quite busy last week this time.
Yeah, that was a mess. There was a lot of hurrying up and waiting. I was trapped at the house.
Yeah. Adam got stuck with some storm damage and a long power outage, way extended power outage, and he's got electricity back. So Scott D said it's a Sasquatch. Oh man, can't pop up and scare me like that, Adam.
Yes, I can. That's what I do.
So how have you been, man? We got some stuff to talk about here before we get into tonight's topic, which tonight we are going to be going into some Bigfoot audio, some Bigfoot knocks, like what could they be, and tree structures, and sharing some thoughts and theories on those, and allowing you guys to jump right into the mix and share away as well. And also share any of your experiences that you've had that you would like for us to read out, which we will totally do. But we've got some stuff actually for the first time in a hot minute that is kind of sort of newsworthy over here in the world of wild and weird. There's been a couple strange articles that have been coming out, and we're going to address two of them later. But the first one, Adam, what do you think about this? That NASA has been asked to help look for the elusive Loch Ness Monster.
I mean, to be honest, I was just reading on that today, and to me, I'm actually pretty excited about that. I mean, it's been commented lately that it is a whale penis. So if we need NASA to look at whale penises, a little bit harder, why not? they're the ones with the satellites and everything. You know, come on, why not? And Joe decided to leave on that note.
Just realized I had to get the mood set right.
For whale penis.
I still had my overheads on. Now we have mood lighting.
Whale penis mood lighting, right?
Yeah. But it's kind of weird. Like, what, you know, I'm sitting here and asking myself, like, how in the world would NASA be involved? And I guess obviously satellites. But you know, the weird thing is that the satellites really aren't going to do much because Loch Ness is like murky and nasty all the time.
No, what if they have like some kind of like infrared or something like that?
Oh yeah, that could work. That could work.
Also sound and stuff like that. I mean, but good on them. If that's how they want to spend their time and money, then great.
Sure. Let's do it. Yeah. The next thing that popped up was during the eclipse in it like not too far from here. We had a actual UFO sighting during the eclipse that was traveling down the highways. Did you see that, Adam?
Oh, the little go-kart thing, yeah.
Right. It was pretty entertaining seeing that thing. Here, I'm going to throw this up there for you guys who might not have seen it, but it's pretty funny because you wouldn't necessarily expect going down the interstate to see this pop up right beside you.
I don't know. I mean, I would enjoy having something like that, to be honest.
Oh man, you know how much fun that would be.
I mean, I'd go get milk with that thing. You know,
that would be an absolute blast. I'd get in trouble. I'd have way too much fun with it.
No, exactly what I'm saying. I'd be going to get milk every day in it, and go pay bills with it or whatever you're going to do. You know.
Yeah.
That'd be perfect drive-through material, you know.
For whatever reason, it's not downloading it as a photo, so I can't upload it. So just take my word. It's like this small go-kart that is it looks like two satellites have been kind of fused together and had some rivets thrown in them traveling down the interstate.
Looks like
very steampunky.
Looks like stuff that they had at like the 50th anniversary in Roswell.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah. Something they would have had in the parade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's being funky. Like it won't let me download it the right way. It's trying to download it, and it basically shows up in Wingdings. So it must be a. When I move it over into the StreamYard thing, it just looks like if I throw that up there, somebody would think the MIB hacked us again.
Yeah, I mean. Maybe you should be looking into, who your IT people are.
Right. Men in Black says, definitely trust NASA to help you investigate an aquatic cryptid and not Photoshop evidence of existence of the footage, primates. I mean, that's kind of how I feel about that, having NASA look at it. Like, I think I'm team MIB on this one. And then did anybody see some of the more recent updates that have come from the Newsbreak? Because it's pretty interesting. Tommy Swigger shared this one, and essentially, according to Avi Loeb, he's saying that these UFOs, and he's convinced that they are traveling through what he is calling curled dimensions, and that they're only observable through the Large Hadron Collider at CERN. So these things are known to exist, these curled dimensions. It's not theoretical, but he's saying that this is what UFOs are using to travel. That was published yesterday. Thanks, Tommy, for sharing that with us.
There are some papers that are going to be coming out that should be actually. Sounds like Avi Loeb is a little bit ahead of the punch, which is good.
Right.
I really like Avi myself.
I do too.
I do too. I love the fact that he's dredging oceans for balls.
Right. And everybody was saying you're not going to find anything. It's not going to yield any results. And literally the first dredge, he pulls results.
I mean, not only can you make a sea shanty out of it, but the fact that, it's really good science and it's a lot of fun and inspiring.
We need to make this sea shanty a reality, Adam. That's our latest task. Octopus with No Friends says it was talking about the eclipse. It really was a magical time. Planted some buds for my late grandma's rose bushes in the yard during the eclipse. Just a little extra magic. Me personally, I took our Venus flytraps out into the eclipse, crossing my fingers and hoping beyond hope for Lucille.
Remember how that ended?
I mean, I wasn't saying I was going to keep it at my house.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just waiting on a dentist now,
You can be our Val Kilmer lookalike. Whoa.
Oh, yay. Are we getting an alert?
Here it comes, boys.
Nope, I'm getting it too. Flash flood.
Yep, okay. Flash floods.
Well, that's okay. I live up on a hill.
Facebook user from an Indiana road trip. Let's see who you are. I'm going to find you somewhere. I know you're over here on Facebook land, so I'm jumping over to get into that. Nobody's there, so maybe over on. Let's see. I don't know where you're at. Sorry, Facebook user. Just type in what your name is. Then Octopus says those Avi Loeb spears were found to be ball bearings, I heard. I haven't seen anything about that.
No.
Because everything about the chemical composition is like the majority of the material that he's found. The composition of those have been non-terrestrial in origin. So if anything, it indicates that it was a large impact.
Yeah.
Feed me, Seymour. Yeah. So, then we've got Men in Black up here telling everybody absolutely not to hit that like, share, and subscribe, and don't support us in any way. Of course, remember, as always, get in there, folks. Go ahead and smash that like button. Give it a good couple smacks like it owes you money. It's a free, easy thing for you guys to do. And it really helps us out a lot. Even the comments, like all your all's comments every week, it boosts us out there. And I know that might seem silly to some folks, but it actually does work. It's how all this metrics finds stuff and everything. And, it just be how it is. And speaking of keeping it free, Men in Black, I know you guys absolutely hate and loathe entirely these folks, but the executive producer, Adam Good, L.W. Marshall, Teresa's on the history of the tri-state, Larry Hose, Ada Cox, Nancy White, Scott Holbrook, Tommy Swigger, Pat, that is Pat, our all-purpose Swiss Army knife, Small Town Monsters, Eyes in the Woods, James Nelson, and the rest of our amazing super chatters, the Deuster himself, Dewey Edwards, Spooky Appalachia, Guitar Chains Craig, Travis Erednick, Jeffrey Still, Russ Bailey, Chris Coots, Bigfoot Littlefoot, Terry Summerfield, Sarah Ramsey. Holy crap, Eyes in the Woods coming in as an executive producer spot straight out of the gate. We've got Sarah Ramsey, Julie Bug, Finding the Trackway, Donna Ho, Angie Breeden, Jen Clower, Jamie Snell, Ike the Fob, Daddy Fobber, Ashley Hilt. On Wednesdays we talk weird, and that one other Beast podcast show that I will forever butcher the name of because for whatever reason I cannot commit that thing to memory. And of course, Lisa. So Eyes in the Woods, wow. Thank you so much. That you are absolutely amazing. You get thank you, thank you, thank you. Keeping it free for eons and eons to come. You guys, what you guys do for the show is absolutely unfathomable to me. Like, in all honesty, I have no idea why anybody would really dig in the way you guys do for us, but you do week after week, and it just absolutely blows my mind. Ashley's here. What's going on, Ashley? Good to have you in the house.
Oh, always good to have Ashers.
And we've got Seth. Seth is watching with one eye because the eclipse gave him Mothman farted in his eyes. What really happened? he got too close, and he was looking, and it just got him. But Samurai 89, what's going on? By the way, Seth is going to be doing a felting class. We had mentioned it in the past, and he, I believe, has had to reschedule that date, and it's now going to be. It's going to be on May 18th at 10 a.m.
Which is not good.
Yeah, because that's the same day as the workshop, so I won't be able to make it. Seth, I really wanted to come, Seth, but it's going to be May 18th. So if you guys aren't going to be at the workshop, go hang out with Seth and learn how to make your own felt creations, because he makes some of the coolest crap that you will ever lay your eyes on. Not only is he a phenomenal tattoo artist, but like his felting work is seriously like some of the best that I've ever seen in person. Like, I don't know how, I really don't know how he hasn't gone viral on social media with his felt work. So guys, make it happen.
Well, I'm commissioning
Wild Sage Felt on Instagram.
Yeah, I'm commissioning beans for a sculpture right now. So
nice.
It's going to be a big one. So hopefully it'll help him go viral. So.
Right on. That would be amazing. I really hope it does, because he deserves it. He's one of the coolest dudes out there.
Oh yeah, no, he got pink eye.
He just doesn't want a felt hat.
I was hanging out with him the other day, and I think I know where he got the pink eye from.
You guys make the time well worth being. Well, thank you, Octopus. We do our best to make it worth your all's while in being here. Did Ron get sucked? Yes, Ron got sucked into the eclipse portal. He stared at it without glasses for too long, and it burned his eyeballs out of his gourd, and he's currently chained up like the zombie from Night of the Living Dead 2. We have a sign hanging off his neck that says "free hugs," but nobody's taking him up on it yet.
No, I'll do it. I'll hug him.
But guys, it's that time. Let's go ahead and start diving in here to the topic. You guys all, if you looked at the link and everything, it's Bigfoot vocals, wood knocks, and tree structures. Oh my! And let's just go ahead and start this off with talking about some of what Matt Moneymaker has been putting out. Have you seen that, Adam?
No, I haven't. Where I've been in the dark ages.
That's right. Yeah, because the first one was last week, and then he just posted one today. And the first one that he posted was phenomenal, because to see the BFRO actually start tracking some of this other phenomena, it just I'm ecstatic on one hand, but my mind is blown on the other, because for so long there have been so many people, because of the BFRO and their stance on like let's not include the weird stuff, that have really kind of drawn back, and they wouldn't tell you about these strange reports. They wouldn't tell you about, oh yeah, we heard a Bigfoot howl and we're out in the woods, we felt like we were getting tracked, and then we started seeing orbs. They wouldn't tell you about that until just a couple years ago. And that was because they found out that they could actually tell us. They found out that they could talk to the wild and weird guys and that we weren't going to blow them off. As soon as they found out that we were actually boots on the ground investigators, we started getting these reports.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Brandy, what's going on?
Brandy.
Larry Ho says, I never thought Moneymaker would say those things. Yeah, honestly, I've had those conversations with him in private. And I've told a few people about those, that I'd had these conversations with Matt in private, and it was his personal take on it. And Terry says Moneymaker has seen something, hasn't he? And the answer to that unequivocally is yes, he has. So right out of the gate, Matt says more information on observable paranormal stuff connected or not with Bigfoots. If I don't say what I know, and this is Matt talking, as with wood knocks and predation on deer, people won't ever make the connection with Bigfoots and won't pay attention to these things. If you search this BFRO Facebook group for keyword orbs, you will find my prior post mentioning the small orbs that are repeatedly seen in conjunction with credible Bigfoot activity. I've only made a few posts about that, and they've all been in the past few weeks. After 30 years of avoiding the subject altogether, at least publicly and in print. Why? For all those good, fine people out there who are staunchly skeptical about the Bigfoot subject in the first place. Not because they know better, but rather because they have trouble grasping what Bigfoots are, even the basic concept. Not a singular monster, but rather scattered nomadic population of large primates. Those people will have even more trouble computing the concept of and accepting the existence of an ecological normality of Bigfoot if they also hear what we used to call the weird stuff, or woo. And he goes to talk about orbs, and he talks about how the majority of the ones that are seen are the same ones that you guys are seeing, these orange and light blue, and almost like pale blue, and they're fleeting, they're moving, and they have an intelligence to them. And it's been amazing. Like this, he wrote several paragraphs here. And he said, could this also be affecting trail cameras?
Absolutely.
It could be affecting trail cameras. How many times we've got some trail cams that are deployed, and Beth, those were all actually out in Beth's neck of the woods, and I'm watching for Beth because we've actually got a special guest that will be joining us later.
Yay!
Very, very first time. Can't wait for you guys to get introduced formally to Beth whenever she's ready here. But Danny Buckner, what's going on, buddy? And Matt's going on about this stuff, talking about these orbs, and he says we don't know right now, and we never will know down the line unless people become aware and take notice of it. Why would there be resistance to merely mentioning it in a case if it is related? And the reason for that, whether he knew it or not, was directly related to the BFRO and their staunch stance against the weird stuff. Absolutely. That's why nobody mentioned it, was because they thought that everybody kind of followed Q from the BFRO, which for the most part they do. So what Octopus says, small light blue like a spark. Yep. And they really move. Yeah. And it's been phenomenal to see what they've put. And then all of the comments, there's 240 some comments in that first post. And the majority of them are people saying, thank you. They're saying, thanks for acknowledging this. This is, how important this is, and that they needed to, that this is something that validates so many other reports that have been just kind of scoffed at for so long. What about the static electricity? That's in the next one. We're gonna cover that one next. Okay, that's because that came up next, and it wasn't necessarily static electricity, so to speak, as much as it was like white noise static that was recorded on an electronic device. Now, these orbs, I don't know, they might generate some kind of static electricity, but I'd more equate that to ball lightning, wouldn't you, Adam?
Yep.
The
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but you look froze.
Okay, yeah. Let's stop cam. Bring it back up. Nope, still.
Technical difficulties, folks.
Oh, you know,
we're dealing with some crazy weather patterns right now, so hopefully you guys can stay connected with everybody here.
Let me step out and I'll step right back in.
Yeah, go for it. That's fine. So with everything else that he was saying, you've got people saying, thank you for sharing this. This needs to be said. Thank you, Matt. These things do happen. And whether they're related or not, they need to be reported, because that's how we compartmentalize things at the collective. We've always taken these reports and we sit and say, look, we're going to take this report and we're going to break it down. Did the orbs have anything to do with it? Were the orbs interacting with the Bigfoot, or was this just a normal Bigfoot? And so if it's just a normal Bigfoot, then that falls under subject A. If everything's normal, there's no weird time slips, no radiation, no kind of strange energy or whatever, that's just normal. But if you have a Bigfoot that is seen and there's also orbs seen, were they at the same time? Were they in the same exact place? Or do they just seem to kind of happen? Because in that case, they get separated. You've got subject A and subject B in one place at the same time. And I think Adam's having some issues. Oh, there he is. And then from there, you've got, well, was this Bigfoot interacting with the orbs? Did it disappear into an orb? Did it come out of an orb? Did it hold one? Did it teleport or cloak? Those all of those fall into the subject B category. And that's how we've been categorizing these things for the last 3 years.
Or Bigfoot orbs.
Yeah. It's very, because some of these cases, they are, in fact, they'll see the orb show up and go into the woods, and then they'll see a Bigfoot, and then they'll lose sight of the Bigfoot and the orb will show up, or they've actually watched them just kind of phase out of existence and see an orb shoot up.
Well, I mean, that's what's been talked about in some distant circles. Like, what if Bigfoot are orbs or other dimensions, ATVs, just being able to roam around the woods instead of being something else?
Right. I've heard that theory before, that they're kind of just like drones almost.
Yeah.
And that's the easiest way. And it's one of these things where literally if all the data doesn't go on the table, you have incomplete data. I'm sorry. That's just how it is. Yeah. If you ignore something, it's, I apologize, but we've got to put it all on the table, because the data doesn't care what you feel. The data doesn't care how you feel about it. And the data doesn't care what you think at the end of the day. If it's there, you've got to put it on the table.
Yes.
Bottom line.
And I have to say, thank you, Ashley, for the jab. I greatly appreciate that. I do have issues. Thank you for pulling that out.
So, before we go into Matt's next one, I'm going to teach you guys a little bit about what the next one was referring to, but I'm also going to show you a Bigfoot recording that we've analyzed and looked at. And I'm going to kind of show you how to read it. So this is a spectrograph, okay? Not a spectrometer. This is a spectrograph. And this is a still. And the segment that is being viewed right now with the grayscale is the segment that is highlighted at the bottom right-hand side, where you see the darker, more clear blues and reds. Now, when you're looking at this screen, see those parallel lines that run together? There's 2 sets of parallel lines, and they're about, real close to the bottom. Those are howls. And these are actually pictures of a howl that the audio won't work for, but I can view it on spectrograph, so I don't know what's going on. I'm not sure what the deal is there, or why it's letting me view it but not letting me hear it. But this is a spectrograph, and that is a harmonic. You're seeing 2 levels right there, where that audio, you've got a lower tone and a higher tone above it. And those are what we want to look for. We're looking for that kind of signature, and in the specific frequency range that it's currently at. The numbers might be kind of small for you guys, but we're looking for something between 12, it's like 1290, 1300 ballpark, down into the 500s, like 575. Normally, I set my sensitivities to 450 and 1300 and just view in that range. But from where I couldn't get the audio at all to cooperate, I wasn't able to. I just screenshotted it and went from there. So that is 2 calls, 2 howls. Notice how that's not a cut in the middle of the screen. That's 2 consistent howls. It'll go woo, and then another one will pause, and then woo again. And you could see that clear as day right there. And it was right there in that sweet spot where you want to see them. And what we do is we will analyze these things, and if they are of note, like if we see that, I mean, you're talking this entire clip of audio was like an hour long. And the good thing about the spectrograph is you can watch the audio. You don't even have to listen to it. I can sit and scrub through it on the dial, and I don't have to listen to an hour. I think I scrubbed through that entire hour in about 3.5 minutes, looking for the markers that I was actually wanting to see. Then hold on, we got Beth's sending me something. And so I can isolate those audio samples really quickly. I don't have to sit and listen to it. You know, like you do for paranormal research, you listen to the audio recordings for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Luckily you don't have to do that with this.
Beth having problems as well.
Yeah.
So
go ahead.
Oh, no, I mean, I was just going to be like, so with the dial and such, I mean, this is just me personally wanting to know, how much do those dials cost? Kind of.
Well, that is actually a free app that is called what's it called? It's on the thing. Hold on 1 second. Let me bring that. I'm going to bring that back up real quick. It's a Sonic Visualizer.
Okay.
That is the app that I use to use this, and then I also use another free app called Audacity. I use both of them, and I see how close and how tight they are, because sometimes, because Sonic Visualizer is over the internet, it will kind of mess up the audio transfer. So I always use Audacity as well. Ada Cox says, I've heard those howls as well, Joe. Robin Sims says, when I saw Bigfoot, there were no orbs. My daughter and accidentally stumbled onto it, and suddenly it took off running. See, that was me. My personal account that I saw was just a totally normal Bigfoot kind of thing. It's very, very typical subject A encounter. However, there have been multiple accounts that we followed up on at this point where we've found stray radiation that should not be there. And we've made it to those sites in less than 2 hours from the sighting, because we were in close proximity. And there was residual radiation on site in the footprints.
Wow.
And those footprints went from being something that looked kind of Bigfoot-like to being a bear. So like none of it made sense. And then the bear disappears. Like, I tracked this bear around this bush for 20 minutes, looking around, trying to look in circles. And I got down on the ground even, and I was looking on the ground to seeing if there was anything disturbed, and then looking up the hill, there was no track. No, this thing just disappeared right where the radiation was.
Wow. That
can't explain it.
That's almost like Faye.
Yeah, it's so stinking weird. Brandy says, wow, Robin, where was that? And I agree. Robin said, I saw it from the shoulders up. It was reddish brown in color. Didn't get a good look at its face because it turned so fast and ran over the hillside. Yeah, isn't it crazy how quick that upper body can jerk? I experienced that again myself with another purely Class A, and this was 20 years after my original sighting. So it's not like I see these things all the time. So I don't want anybody thinking that. But like I've only had two for sure sightings, and they were over 20 years apart. But this last one was back in October, and the thing was standing there. My headlights hit it, and man, that upper body snapped. I got a halfway decent look at the profile of the face, but its upper body snapped back and started walking like very quickly. Then let's see. Okay. I'm going to send Beth that link. There we go. Yeah, so it's really, really wild. So now Finding Trackway says, I prefer to listen. Often there's not enough amplitude for background vocals to be heard. There's and that's where you're saying there's not enough amplitude for the background vocals to be heard. That's where the spectrograph comes in handy, because the spectrograph picks it up. It's detected on the microphone. It's just not detectable on the playback. And that's one of the things that gets kind of weird. Now here is a, can you hear me, Adam? Okay. Can you guys hear me out there? And it's just me again. Oh, Cabell County, West Virginia in 2002. Wow. See, mine was in Kanawha County in 2001 was my first one. Robin, could you send me some details on that at some point? I'd love to add that to our map. Because I'll give you access to the map too. You can see all of our Bigfoot sighting reports and all that stuff. How about now, Adam?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Perfect. Yes. Terry says loud and clear. Good. All right. Then let's see. Okay, I'm going to snag another clip for. Oh, this is gonna be audio. I'm going to put up an audio clip for you guys to hear, because it is absolutely trippy. Here we go. We were recording out at our farm, and we had one of the strangest things pop up, and we didn't really register it. Like, we knew it was like the samurai chatter. We knew that we were hearing that stuff, and we knew that we were hearing two different entities. Okay. And Ron went and cleared it all up, and you could hear where they were clear as day. But Seth Breedlove, actually, Teresa, hey, what's going on? Just got in from braving the elements. Oh man, it's rough out there right now. Like, I can hear it in the basement. I can hear it on the roof right now. You can, Robin, send that to wildandweirdwv.com, and then go to the report a sightings tab, and then just you can fill out whatever you want to fill out in the questionnaire, but then just in the bottom, give us a rough location on where it was, and I'll get that added in soon, and I'll email you back a link to be able to go view our maps. Okay, so Teresa's in the house. Glad to have you here. And I'm going to play this audio for you guys and see what you guys think. So this was what we heard the first time, and then Seth Breedlove actually cleaned it up more, and this was used in the Unearthed series. Kill that. So I just played that 3 times. Could y'all hear that at the end? Rachel Green, how you doing? Thanks for joining. Good to have you here with us. Then, so did you guys hear that?
Was that like
kind of low, or was like, because it's as loud as we could got that one?
Yeah.
But yeah, I can try. Sorry, I'm talking out loud to Messenger, not not you guys.
We're all mad around here,
right?
But what was it? Kind of sound like Check That Out.
I'm gonna play you guys the sound again, enhanced, here in just a moment.
Okay.
I'm gonna send this to Beth real quick. Okay. All right. So that's sent, Beth. Hopefully you can join us here in just a minute. So here is the next thing. Well, see, Danny says it sounds paranormal. It wasn't. That we heard that with our ears. It wasn't just on the recording. We heard it with our ears. But here's where it gets weird. Okay. This is where things get really, really strange. I'll let it go one more time. No, there's Brandy, there's no way that I could turn it up more. That is the loudest as I can get it. Donna says my favorite saying is we're all mad here. Yeah, we really are. So what that sounds like, I know that it's low, because you got to remember this was a low volume recording. That when it slowed down, Seth slowed it down by 50%. And it sounds like it almost sounds like it says hello.
On the last,
Ashley says it kind of sounds like hear that. It kind of sort of sounds like that too. And then Donna Ho says it sounds human in an unknown language. It does. It sounds human. That's the crazy part. And we could hear that then. I'm going to play it again for you guys. Danny says it's humanoid. It does sound human. Then Donna Ho says it, hear that. Finding the Trackway says I've captured some that we could both hear and EVP. Oh, that's cool.
To me, that sounded like whenever they slowed it down, the last one you played, after Seth played with it, sounded like we had this festival in Australia in Dalesford called Chill Out, and it sounded like the way that they kind of say chill out.
Now, here's, I know everybody hears hello. Like I personally, I can see where hello is discerned from that. And then a few people in the chat is saying without context that I would assume it's someone talking. Right, you would, but we were like, we're way out in the middle of nowhere at the farm. If there's other people other than us, it's dangerous for them and us. But 8 o'clock says sounds human. I've got earbuds in and getting it good. Yeah, if you have earbuds or headphones, you can hear it really good. Teresa says it almost sounds mimicking because I can hear it pick up tones of Joe's voice in it, and then clearly not Joe. That's something that somebody else had said. My wife said that when she was listening to it. She could pick up tones of my voice. Now, we also had, if you, I've been learning the Lenape language, because my ancestors are Lenape, my grandmother's side, and the way that they said one of their words as a greeting was "aho," and it kind of has that same cadence. Like if you listen to it again, it kind of has that. So it's pretty interesting. Like it seemed like something was trying to communicate with us. And then Finding Trackway says, I hear fell wah. Terry McCullough says, I hear strange high-pitched chatter, and then hear that strange high-pitched chatter is cicadas. And then we've let's see, we've got, I hear the knock, and then I hear that. And I'm getting ready to bring Beth in here in just a second. Beth, welcome to the show. How you doing? Can we hear you? I can't hear you. Check a microphone settings. Brandy says it sounds like the human thing saying hear that because of the cricket thing saying something. Then let's see. I can hear that human sounding thing, but what is the cricket sounding thing saying? The cricket sounding thing is just like they're cicadas. They're just going rah, 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 kind of thing. And that's all it is, just cicadas. We were up there during the summer, clearly into summer, and tons of cicadas. Then we've got let's see, trying to see if we got anybody new in. Oh, G3's in the house. What's up? All right, let's see. Can you hear me? All right, now Beth, we can't hear you. You can join with your phone. Yeah, if you're on the Wi-Fi there, you can just go click that link that I sent you, and you can join straight from your phone. And it should integrate with your microphone just fine. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to step you down in the chat here, and then you come back in, okay? So the reason we think we were hearing this was because we were up there, and when I cook food, I don't normally have any waste to throw out, right? And we her mom and them, when they cook for an army, even though it's just 2 or 3, and then they throw out the leftover food. And these things knew vehicles were there, so they came in to expect, and they didn't find any food, and things went a little bonkers. Donna Ho says it does sound native. And that's just been something I've been thinking of here recently, Donna. So I read that the Midwest is one for the oh yeah, they're in for one heck of a cicada season. They really are. Indiana and Missouri right underneath them is getting ready to get just pummeled. Terry McCullough said there's definitely a sound over the bugs. There's an odd chattering noise before the louder noise, and I thought it was Ron saying here. Oh yeah, he did say hear that, and that was me actually saying, did you hear that? In that hear that was me. So let's see. Beth's over there trying to get their things sorted out. Then let's see.
It's been a night, hasn't it?
Oh yeah.
No, if you're going to check your phone, I'm going to check mine.
Yeah, I'm sending Beth her link again.
I'm just messing. But It's really interesting to hear your findings. I haven't heard those yet, so I'm glad. I'm
Yeah,
with
that's
you.
the first time that I've talked about it, and it's because it's only because I've been hmm. Well, Beth might not be able to join us. They're having issues with the microphone over there on their end.
Oh,
They're trying to work out the kinks. Let's see. Any cemetery or Indian burial ground? No, not near there. At least not that I'm aware of. And it wasn't. This was very like normal Bigfoot kind of stuff. This wasn't in the paranormal thing side of stuff. But Larry Hose or Larry Hose. I'm reading it from Larry because Larry said, "Hey LW," and I was like, "Oh, LW's here." I started looking up. So you got LW says, "Sorry, I'm late. My sister stopped by. I haven't seen her in a long time. How's everyone this evening?" We're doing fantastic, man. How are you doing? It's good to see you in the house tonight, man. I'm gonna, since you're just got in the house here, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna play that audio for you, LW, so that way you can hear it too, and anybody who's new in here, because I see we just clicked up a couple. Remember, if you're sitting here watching on YouTube, go smash that like button and let us know you like what you're seeing, and if you really like what you're seeing, subscribe to the YouTube channel because we've got a ton more content. So here's that audio one more time, LW.
Kill that. Kill that. Kill that.
And then here it is slowed down.
Kill that. Kill that.
So again, you guys, now that you've heard it a few more times, LW, what do you think of that, man? Because I know you're a Bigfooter, and I know we got you. We've got Finding the Trackway and Eyes in the Woods and a few other Bigfooters out here in the crowd. So chime in and let us know what you think of that. All of these technical problems, and we have not yet acted. Curious. You're right.
I think they're pretty punch drunk on farts. Like
yeah. Oh man. So what do you guys think of those? What do you think about all that stuff? Like it's pretty interesting. It's weird. It is part of some of the strange audio that we've had. And then let's see.
Seth has a pretty good one.
Yeah, that when Seth slowed it down, I was.
Oh, I mean beans in the comments.
Oh yeah.
Too many Seths here.
I'm trying to hear. Yeah, see, the best one. One of the reasons I want to have Beth with us tonight is because we'll play the original audio that got us out there. LW says that's not, or that's unlike any vocalization I've ever heard. More like language, not how. Oh yeah, it was definitely more like language. Like we could hear way more than what we actually recorded, and you can see it on the spectrograph. The way it's just kind of popping in and out. Terry McCullough says 3 syllables, but I can't make them out. In Spanish, it sounds like "Quien va" or "Who goes." Then Donna Ho said this time she was hearing something more like "Fiwa," which was somebody above said that earlier. Octopus with no friends. Who else has been saving them up in Freemason for the MIBs? Their farts, I mean.
I got a collection going there, Octopus. Me and you.
We know you've got a closet full, probably at this point.
Oh yeah, I mean, I make some killer pinto beans, just.
So when when you're looking at that stuff, you hear those kind of audio things and you don't know what to make of it. When you start trying to, you don't really want to augment it, you know what I mean? And then Seth slowed it down and like it gave it more of a language state to it. Like it was fast, at first. But it was bizarre. Yeah, and it caught us off guard because we heard this chatter. We heard it going on and on and on. And man, the cult of good. We are now offering sealed mason jars of our benefactors' flatulence for a love offering of $10 or more.
I'm glad you have.
A love offering.
I'm glad Men in Black are, helping fund themselves. It's really good.
Brandy says she swears it sounds like the cicadas say and crickets say something when it's slowed down. I will go mess with that, Brandy, and I'll slow that audio down myself, and we'll play with it next week for sure, because I won't be able to do it tonight because I don't want to sit for 10 minutes and goof around on the keyboard. But like I can definitely do that between now and next week, and we can see if there's anything else there, Brandy. Finding the Trackway says, well, there's quite a bit of odd audio waiting to be captured. We brought back quite a bit of audio out this way. Neat. Octopus says, now that's a cult that I can see myself in. Seth says, caution, fart jars lead to conjunctivitis. You would know, my friend.
Well, it's the poop stick for beans. I'm sure the poop stick.
That was the thing. He was saving them up himself, and then one of them fell over and broke loose.
Now, I do want to hit on something that no one has said today about what's going on here, and that we need to see blood come out your nose, Joe. We need to see blood come out your ears and eyes. People need to hit that like button. People need to send in money. I mean, I like it whenever you're in pain, Joe. That feeds my life. That feeds my life force, seeing you so upset about people liking the show and donating money and all that. Just
Lisa brought up a good point here about putting it through a translator app. That's not a bad idea either. I'll do that tonight as well, and we'll see what happens.
That's a brilliant idea.
Yeah. Teresa says, Beans, Mothman farting on your pillow is the number three guy in the Mountain State. Is that considered a workplace accident? Oh man, you guys are nuts. So the next thing that we're going to jump over here back to
beans, farts. It goes together.
Yes, Beth, do it on his. Go through your brother's email. Try that. Then anyway, so Matt goes on yesterday and he made another post. He said, when you hear the next one, do not leap in the same direction that some people did when I started talking about the orbs, because Matt got a lot of backlash because of his just acknowledgement of this phenomena. The occurrence of these phenomena does not mean that Bigfoots are paranormal beings, spirits, or that they come from a different planet or different dimension, or that they can cloak or travel through portals, etc. This is all, he's basically just saying it's data on the table. It's to compartmentalize everything and try to just, keep it measured. The weird stuff, as we used to call it, happens around them sometimes. Some stuff follows them like orbs, and some stuff seems to emanate directly from them like zapping. And everybody's heard the infrasound trope. Everybody's heard about zapping before. I personally, at the farm, the night that we heard the chatter, I've never really liked the term zapping, because I just felt like Professor X was sitting there in a chair somewhere going, and like it didn't make sense. But the whole infrasound thing, I kind of understood that, but infrasound doesn't really have that kind of reaction on people. There are other frequencies that do, you can be trapped in one of those sound rooms and just get blasted with audio. Yes, Beth, do it with headphones. You should be able to jump in with headphones. And
now,
go ahead.
No, I do have to say that you can be Wild and Weird's Walmart special brand, special value brand Professor X here.
Yes, I'm bald now, so I can definitely pull it off. But you had this strange phenomena that takes place with some of these people who feel you're out in the woods and you suddenly get sick or something happens and you're overcome with fear or you start sweating. Me personally, full disclosure, I thought I peed myself. I didn't, thank God, but I thought like it felt like I peed myself. My legs even had the sensation of like warm liquid on my pants. Like when you spill, or if you might have peed on yourself, you might know. But if you've spilled hot coffee, like how it feels like your pants will feel kind of tacky to your leg. Like I felt that feeling, like everything in my brain was registering you just peed on yourself. And I didn't, but I knew immediately we needed to like get out of here. We got to go. We need to get out of here. And it was out of nowhere. It's weird.
That phenomena actually happens a lot with Bigfoot. If they want you gone, they will project fear and stuff at you. And possibly it could be like, it knew that if it made it feel like you peed yourself, that would probably do better than something stomping around you.
Teresa of Teresa's Haunted History of the Tri-State says, I had a possible mind-speak encounter with a Bigfoot, but thank God I never got blasted with infrasound. That's really interesting. See, personally, I put the mind-speak stuff into category B. That goes into subject B. Let's see, we might have Beth. Do we have you? I can't hear you. Go into your settings and tell it to use that microphone. So,
possibly next to your stop camera and preset.
Yeah.
Not the computer settings, but on the browser window.
So, LW Marshall says, on Bigfoot being paranormal, ghosts might haunt a house, but the house isn't paranormal. A UFO might abduct someone, but the abductee is not paranormal. Something odd like orbs might interact with Bigfoot, but Bigfoot isn't paranormal. Right. That's kind of where I'm at in most cases. But there are certain cases, like several of the ones that Stan Gordon worked, where these creatures were seen entering and exiting a craft. That's where things get weird. And that's subject B. And so let's see. Anita Allen's in the house. Luckily, I knew you were going to be late, so we wasn't too worried about you. I am going to reach out to the Deuster, though. Deuster hasn't popped up on here yet. So, anyway, back to business. We're using and looking at all of these data points, essentially, right? Like we have to look at it all. And the more we see these strange and unusual phenomena occurring around areas where there's Bigfoot sightings, it normally leads into there being more than just Bigfoot going on in the area.
Mm-hmm.
And that's been the source for several different things. LW Marshall says, I was thinking of Stan and I like him a lot. I'm just trying to consider other possibilities. Maybe the craft abducted. Well, the Bigfoot that were described in that, because I've done an analysis as well, and this has been forever ago. It was on an old episode, and we added it into our presentations. Subject A has your typical Bigfoot type, body, the arms 3/4 of the length to the leg, the big, yes, that's your typical Bigfoot body. And the things that were being described in Stan's sighting reports that were sent to him, sometimes their arms were nearly dragging the ground. They had claws. Their eyes were glowing of their own volition. They were seen carrying some of these glowing balls. They were levitating. They weren't necessarily walking. They were hovering. And they just seemed, they were Bigfoot-like. So we had an image of Bigfoot-like and an image of Bigfoot that was based on typical reports. And we use that also as part of the categorization method when we're looking through and we're saying, is this subject A or subject B? The body mass, body type, thickness of hair, etc., all goes into account, because if the creature is described as being kind of a non-typical Bigfoot body build, then I move it like I'm expecting to hear some other weird stuff coming like immediately. So that's my kind of take, because some of those ones from Stanley, they did not have the typical Bigfoot body build. They were Bigfoot-like, meaning that they were large, hairy, and kind of human shaped, but just they weren't close enough to actually being a Bigfoot for me to call Bigfoot, even though that's how Stan classifies them. LW says, gotcha. So maybe not even absolutely, maybe not even the same creature. I personally think that some of those are completely unrelated. A lot of the subject B, they're not Bigfoot. They're something completely unrelated that have more to do with this non-human intelligence stuff. And we will actually be covering a lot of that stuff at the workshop, oddly enough.
Yay!
Donna Ho says, what if UFOs abduct Bigfoots just like they abduct cattle, moose, and humans? That is also another possibility. But like, I don't know. There's so many ways that abductions have been described. You got the Pascagoula. Oh, we got it. Maybe. We're going to try.
Oh,
can you hear me, Beth?
Hello.
Beth, we got Beth.
Tickling enough.
It is great to have you on the show, Beth. That's awesome.
Yes, I'm excited to be here.
Finally made it onto a live. So we're talking about all this other the weird paranormal Bigfoot stuff, and there's some things I don't want to talk about because we've got some stuff coming up with Wanberry, but I want to get your 2 cents. I want to get your take on the people getting like the infrasound and zapped and some of that stuff, because you're out in the field about every day. You know, you're one of the most active Bigfoot researchers that I know in the United States.
Yeah, that I don't think that I've ever been like zapped. I don't think. But now there's been situations where you get out there and get very confused very easily. And sometimes you think you're going one way and you're completely turned around. I've had that happen quite a few times. I don't know if that's zapped or not, and I know my way around the woods going in directions. So for me to get confused like that in a place that I'm very familiar with, it's very odd sometimes.
It would be.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I mean, to be lost in your own home, so to say, is a very strange.
Hey guys, hang on. I've got Ron on the phone, and Ron just had something weird happen, so I'm going to put him on speaker so you guys can hear him.
I'm going to set this up.
Yeah, we're live. Go ahead, Ron.
Okay, yeah. So we're out here, mining rocks, right? In Arkansas, and we were standing out there on the porch. This literally just happened about 10 minutes ago. Strong wood knock. Super strong wood knock. I kid you not. So, listen. So I just looked over at Maria and I was like, she looked at me. She's like, you heard that? I'm like, yeah, I heard that. What was that? And she's like, you know what that was, or something like that. And the cows have been going crazy. The coyotes started going nuts. It's just a weird little evening, And yeah, man, it was strong. But then just a little bit after that, we ran and got the thermal, because we thought we saw something not too far from us, about 100 yards out off the deck, actually. And that turned out to be a rabbit, thankfully. But as we were getting ready to come back in, as soon as I stopped looking at that rabbit, turned the thermal off, we heard another thing over to our left, and I swear, dude, it sounded like a growl. And it sounded like a really guttural type growl. It wasn't like a little grr. It was like, had some heft behind it. I don't know what it was, but we're going to eat, and I think I'm going to go back out here in just a little bit and kind of sit on this little knoll and just scan this field with the night vision.
Yeah, I would be. Did you bring the thermal with you?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I would utilize them both. Get them both fired up.
Yeah.
Keep them running.
Yeah. I'm going to try them, and we're going to see what we can see out there. But I thought you'd find that interesting because of like you can't make this up. This is crazy. Yeah. So there you go. I forgot about the live tonight. To be honest, I was out there, like I said, doing this. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, that works out great. So everybody.
Yeah, and the live tonight was actually it's titled Bigfoot Vocals, Wood Knocks, and
you're kidding me.
No, yeah, dead serious. That's what I titled it, and that's what we've been talking about for the last hour.
They're going to think this whole thing is staged. Way to go, Joe.
I know.
Good Lord.
Oh.
It really happened, and it was strong. Man, I wish we'd have had something. I mean, it was just Class A wood knock. It sounded almost like the one that we got up at Kanawha State.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So
it's very interesting. We're at the Ochita Mountains is where we're at, by the way. And there is Bigfoot activity out here. Like it's a known thing.
Very cool. Well, maybe one day we can get out there and do some investigating.
Or if not, we can come out here and do some rock hunting. I'll tell you that. There's plenty of that. So
I pulled you off there. It's all right, man. You go have a good night, and I'm gonna put you back on speaker. You can tell everybody good night, and then we will. I mean, I swear though, you're in the chat, like, and I kind of agree. Ron Landham in the chat says it's amazing how that chat bot sounds just like me.
Me and Black are at it, huh? Okay, That's sweet.
All right. Well, if you want to jump in, man, I'll you just come in the back door. You go into StreamYard and hop on with us here in a bit if you want to.
Oh, okay. All right, then.
All right.
Sounds great. If I got a connection, I'll do it.
All right. Later, buddy.
Later, man.
What are the odds?
He's always saying how the coincidences are on lives when we're on lives.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So I've got some of your comments there tagged. I'm going to go back and check those out real quick. Teresa said, so is there just a majority of these UFO Bigfoot cases in Pennsylvania, especially Chestnut Ridge, or is the sample skewed that way since Stan was so early to include these woo reports? I think honestly, there's a lot of skew to that, Teresa, because Stan originally wasn't really doing Bigfoot reports. He was the UFO guy. He runs the UFO hotline. And these sightings of these strange Bigfoot originated with UFOs. That's where they came from. They were seeing UFOs and Bigfoot. So it kind of, built and skewed that way just because Stan was taking the reports. And then when everybody figured out that he was taking all the weird reports, they came in on him. So he started getting these weird, strange reports dumped on him from all over the country.
But wasn't the weird monkey man had the sharp teeth in one of them is the first couple of sightings that he had.
Yeah.
That came off the UFO, came towards the fence, and these weird monkey men with the sharp teeth.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And Anita Allen says, when I researched my field guide, I was amazed that there were so many different types of these creatures. That's why I subscribe to the multi-species theory. And the multi-species is possible. I'm more inclined though to look at these things through more of a like, again, type A, type B. There's probably some like subspeciation, but it could be multiple species as well. Anita says to Teresa, it's filtering. When I worked at the VABRO, I was specifically told to discount any report with even hints of the woo factor. The witness would not even be considered reliable. And that's how the BFRO even did stuff for the longest time. They excluded the weird stuff because they didn't want to lose credibility in anybody's eyes.
Lord, what would they have thought of me with all this crazy stuff down there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's you've got a whole different ball game going on down at Wineberry, though.
I don't even know. Don't even really know. And I've been doing this whole time and don't even know. I can't even tell you.
So Ron's going to actually jump in with us. He's got a strong enough signal. So he's going to jump in with us here for a minute.
Great.
So Danny Buckner says, Beth, wood knocks and closest ones to you.
Oh, how far are they from my house?
Yeah.
Oh, they hit my house.
Yeah, I was gonna say you've got
Yeah.
things that come down and slap your house.
Yeah. And they're, I would say, a half a football field. No, it's closer than that. A quarter of a football field in each direction, front and behind my house, is the wood line. And I've heard it in both directions.
Yeah.
And up the hollow.
The cult of good, followers of the good path. Oh my God, this is great. We are asking that you save and bottle your flatulence for our glorious benefactor. We must conserve his reserves of the good air.
Yeah. We're going to be giving them all to Men in Black because they need them.
Donna Ho says, I still believe in coincidences per se, but I think they're rare. It seems these things are tailored to happen simultaneously, right? Isn't that weird? So Teresa, tell us a little bit about your mind speak. And then while you're typing that up, I'm going to read off here from Matt and what he had put in with the zapping, so to speak. So the general feeling has always been that their ability to do zapping, however it is that they do it, evolved to assist with predation and hunting rather than just to spook away intruders. It serves both purposes just as well. No matter how brave you think you are, no matter how many guns you have with you, you will leave the area if you get zapped, just like what Adam was saying. They have a way of kind of forcing you out of the area. There's been speculation for years that this ability is some type of infrasound, akin to the large tigers that can do it with low-frequency roars. Bigfoot, the ability likely evolved for the same purpose, but it might not be with the same mechanism or through the same medium. One important incident in Washington Cascades gives me strong reason to suspect it is something other than infrasound, which is, I agree. I think it's something beyond infrasound. And he goes on to say the case, along with sorry about that. An experienced female investigator with the BFRO expedition in Washington, along with her female friend, were in a tent around midnight when they both got zapped mildly. They both had an MP3 audio recorder running in the tent. The recording, you can hear the girls speaking to each other calmly as they lay there on top of their sleeping bags. They mention that they can hear something moving. One of them starts saying that she feels an uncomfortable sensation on her legs, which was where I felt mine. It was in my legs. I thought I'd peed myself. The other confirms that she's feeling it also. They continue speaking about white noise interference sound on the recording. It grows louder and louder until it drowns out the voices of the girls. It gives the impression that something with a very strong static electrical field is coming very close to the recorder. It speaks for several seconds, it peaks for several seconds before fading away. The static interference noise fades away completely after several seconds, and that's when you hear the girls in the tent saying they don't feel the zapping sensation any longer. Like, it sounds like something either took a very strong magnet near the recorder or there was some kind of electronic interference.
I've had electrical interferences in my on my phone and stuff up that way, but I don't think that I've ever felt anything. Well, besides the fear of running off that mountain, but that's weird, isn't it?
It really is. And Teresa said, referring back to her mom speak, it was a Canoa State Forest at Dunlop Hollow. Oh God, Teresa, do we have something to tell you later? And I had a bad doctor's appointment, so I came just to connect with nature. I was sitting at a picnic table and I didn't see anyone around me. So I read for a while before needing to leave to go pick my kid up from school. There was quite a bit of trash in the area, so I quickly picked it all up, and I heard a deep male voice say, "Thank you." And I said, "You're welcome," thinking a ranger would be standing there that I didn't see before. There was still no one around. then I got a mental picture of a Bigfoot in my mind. What? That, holy cow. That is crazy. That is, I love it. I love it. That's like, and man, Dunlop Hollow, huh? I've got some stories for Dunlop Hollow for you, Teresa. I can't share them right here, but I can share them with you. So Anita Allen said, I had interactions for years with one of them up there, but the punks on the ridge would just toss rocks at me and try to get me to come up and play. Bluebeam Messiah says there are kind and benevolent beings, no fear, only love. Then Finding the Trackway says, again, if Ron is experiencing knocks, use, yes, I told him, I filled him in Finding. I actually copied and pasted your entire thing and threw it to the messenger for him. Let's see. Who we got? Okay. I think Seth asked, Arkansas, is that skunk ape territory? Arkansas, I think Arkansas, Oklahoma is what they call wood ape territory. It's weird how they have like these localized name for the Bigfoots, isn't it? So, Teresa says, I'd love to hear him. It's not the first time I've had something weird happen there. We're going to have to get in touch, Teresa. So Beth, what's some of the stranger things you've had happen? Because I know that this will be the first time Adam will get to hear those. We can get some good reactions from him as well as the crowd. What's some of the things that, I mean, I know you shared a lot with us here, but you can kind of go into a little bit more depth with us here in person with us.
I've had things thrown at me, little pieces of moss that actually scared me. It was completely dark out, and I don't think it was anything threatening. It was just to be like, "Hey, I'm over here." So I had it fall by my feet.
To throw something as a threat, it wouldn't have been moss.
No, but it did kind of scare me, and I did say, "Hey, big fella, I'm leaving. Yeah. I'm going." And let's see, I've had stuff follow me out. And that's always fun. That not really, but it's always scary when they do that because they'll stay just out of sight. And it's like your mind is thinking, well, I should be able to see this, but I can't. And it'll follow right outside the lines of your sight and just walks with you until you're gone.
I know that feeling.
Yeah, I've had, and this is weird. It may not have been, but I've always thought that I had heard one growl, and I thought that it laughed at me because I fell down the hill, which probably didn't, but I always thought it did because it made this like really weird noise as I rolled down the hill. Yeah, and tried to climb back up there and was falling because it was real slick and I was scared. But I always thought, well, what if it was? What if they do kind of have a sense of humor, which I'm not sure. I don't know anything about these creatures, and I've been investigating for this long, and still, it feels like I'm just beginning. But I've had all kind of fun stuff happen up in the woods. Get dark when you know that you feel like you have more time in the woods, and all of a sudden it's getting dark, and you're going, well, how in the world did it get dark this quick when I thought I should have had 3 more hours? Just some stuff like that, little things like that you can't really explain. You'll follow footsteps to a certain point, and then they're gone. And you look around and be like, well, where? I know I was following them. I tracked them from here to there, point A to point B, but now where did they go?
Right.
And I mean, there's some stuff up in here, some fun stuff.
Yeah, it's I love the area that you live in, and the area that you've got, and your entire research area is just absolute gorgeous. And even just the nature up there is so uncanny because it's so untouched. Ike said you had missing time. Yeah, I agree, Ike.
And that hadn't happened. That was recently, actually. And until I said out loud, it kind of didn't dawn on me it was just something I thought I stayed in the forest too long or something. But until you say stuff out loud, sometimes you don't realize what it really could be. Sometimes it takes you to talk about it to realize things.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So Tommy just said, so Amanda was driving home from the store yesterday evening. She had a really weird look on her face. Long story short, she saw a weird 4-legged creature run down the road in front of the truck. That's interesting, Tom.
Yeah, we've been having that at his place. So.
I know.
Did they see the face or the head or anything?
I'm the host here, Beth.
Oh, I was just wondering. I see in my mind this animal without a head. I need to know what it looks like.
No, you know better. This show is just anybody who's sitting here in these chairs is as much their show as anybody else's. You guys are the reason we have this show in the first place.
Okay. Looks like
she described it as a black gray, long legs like a Great Dane. Body was skinny. She couldn't see the head, but she couldn't identify it.
I've been watching those crazy dog man shows, and I'm telling you, the more I watch and hear people's accounts, the scarier it gets to some of the accounts of the way they look and stuff. I don't know. I can't tell you one way or the other on those.
Yeah, have you been watching some of the stuff from Small Town Monsters that they put out? Yeah, it's really good stuff. Yeah. Their Dogman documentary stuff and Dogman coverage has been pretty interesting.
It has. And I was a firm 100% non-believer until like some of the things that have came up and it makes you think. It really does.
So apparently, hello, fellow primates. Wild and Weird has decided to discontinue Wookiee investigations after this broadcast and concentrate our efforts on Sky Jelly. It would be it would be sad if it wasn't true.
Very true.
Okay, did you guys hear that? Or was it just on my end?
I heard.
Did you hear somebody say very true?
Oh, I said very true.
It played during the video. Our mics are muted during that time.
Yeah, I said it right before the video played. Then my screen went. Then you went into a circle.
Okay, so it was a latency thing. I was sitting here thinking, I'm like, what is going on?
No, I have this effect on electronics, much like Beth.
Yeah, and well, luckily, Adam said very true. I was getting very concerned for a minute. Oh man. Anita Allen said, if you have a second site, if you have second sight, my friend's house and her dad's place is our trip, like being in a Hieronymus Bosch painting. So finding the trackway, Wookiees and jellies, jellies and Wookiees, Wookiees and jellies. It sounds like a kid's Saturday morning cartoon.
I will, if anyone donates $50, I will provide them with a bark jar.
Oh my
god. Apparently I said that in the chat with the cult of good, so I mean
the good air. We'll put a piece of gaff tape and write good air on it. So Adam, what do you think about what Beth was sharing there for a second ago?
To be honest, a lot of that sounds very familiar to me. I've been through a lot of different things. And
I just got a tornado warning showed up on my screen and blocked my entire view. So guys, if everything goes dark on my end, I might have got, taken to Oz.
Well, you're in the basement. You'd be looking up where your family used to be.
Oh man.
No, but like I was saying, a lot of the stuff, like I've had missing time, and I have kind of the companion a lot of times, like like going through the woods or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That. Something pacing you almost.
Yeah, and I've come to actually really appreciate it because it feels like it keeps me out of certain danger sometimes. And thank you, Larry. I will be getting you a fart jar.
Oh my God. Larry, do not encourage this. Thanks, Larry. Keeping it free for eons and eons to come, and apparently fart jars as well.
I will work up I will work up a fart jar just for Larry.
Larry is the stink master. This show is starting to stink. Yeah. Right. Anita says she'll make a bejeweled fart jar for the special MIB fart jar. Oh my God. Larry, thanks, brother. You guys are awesome.
Yes, thank you, Larry. And
that deserves one of these.
What about the cow? Have you ever heard any cow moose? Any different noises made by them?
Now, there have been at our farm, because, you had mentioned that to me about what you had heard. And I that are myself, because we have cattle on our farm. And my wife's grandfather is the one that tends to them all. And all of the cattle have been over in his pasture. But then we'll hear something that sounds like a really bad cow impersonation.
That's the way this was.
That comes up out of the bottom. And like, it's close, but it's just like, you're trying hard, so I'm going to give you a gold star.
Yeah. I think this is the third time that this has happened. Like, once was up on the graveyard with me and my daughter. But like, this last one was a little bit louder, and I guess it was a little bit closer. So it was like, well, nobody around here in this little vicinity has cow. So it was just weird.
No, I talk an awful lot with animals around my house. Like, I have a couple owls that I talk with on a regular basis, and new ones coming in, and I'll just try to mimic other stuff. But usually we kind of get up into conversations, and it leads on to something else.
Finding says, if he says pull my finger, I'm out of here. Oh man, you guys are nuts. Then owls everywhere. Donna, you had said something a moment ago about dogman sightings in 2000, and I tried to bring it up and I accidentally deleted your comment. So could you retype that for me? That'd be fantastic. And I'd love you forever, Donna. I don't know how I deleted it.
I think I was good going up into the woods until I started watching those shows. I had got my courage back and watched them shows, and it's like, wow, I don't even know no more.
Yeah, right. Like, that's the last thing I want to run into out in the woods, because I honestly do think that they are 100% paranormal. There is no reason on any evolutionary scale anywhere for like a giant dog to be walking on two legs like a human. And almost all the sightings are like, it appeared and then it was gone. And they're always malicious. Nobody's ever been like, you know what? I was lost in the woods and a dog man came to lead me out. You might have been lost in the woods and a dog man showed up and scared your pants off and you ran until you found blacktop. But like, there wasn't one that walked you out of the woods.
It always makes me, oh, sorry.
Oh, no, you go ahead, Beth.
It always makes me think of Rachel's experience at that time. She didn't see it, but something scared him real bad.
Yeah.
And it left a handprint on her tire, like something was there.
Uh-oh. Is it strong enough?
It's Dogman.
We were talking about Dogman and summoned him right to the room. See? What's up?
Oh, well, yep. Well, yep. There it is.
Yep.
Can you hear us?
Dogman's here.
Well, hell, the gang's all here. What's going on?
I know, right? We got us a good show going, man.
Do you? Well, I'll have to go then, because you got to. It's all good.
Yeah, we got everybody in our region, Ron, has gotten like tornado and flood watch warnings popping up on their phones. I just had one pop up on the screen and like about took me off the internet.
Yeah, I saw that we're having some bad weather again.
Yeah.
Also, Ron, we have a new moneymaker for you to start selling.
Okay.
Yeah, apparently Larry bought the first one.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, fart jars.
So
no, don't
found
do
a
this.
reason for fart jars.
Don't do this.
He quits.
Just don't do this, man.
No, we're doing it. It's
So,
happening.
so Donna said, my husband and I had a series of Dogman encounters back in 2000. We had never heard of Dogman, so we were terrified and perplexed. Holy crap. That's pretty wild, Donna. If you ever want to share more about those, that'd be awesome. So Tommy wife Amanda had some weird stuff going on, Ron. She saw it was about the size of a raccoon, 4 legs, running down the road. It was black, skinny, long, gangly, 4-legged critter.
Okay.
Couldn't really identify it, but we're going to see if anything else pops up from that. That was yesterday on her ride home from the grocery store.
I'm thinking we're going to have to get out there is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's. I think so too. Now, mind you, this time of year, bears are kind of coming out of their hibernation phase, and during hibernation, they do get mange, and they're skinny.
We found, the bear that one year at Wineberry when we went up there.
Yeah, we did.
You actually found the den, so
yeah.
It does happen. Doesn't mean that that's always it,
right?
Though.
It doesn't mean that's what it is, but we do need to get up there and just poke around sometime. There's too much other weird stuff.
Agreed. Wonder what I'm doing.
Teresa said Ron can't even go on vacation without Joe and Adam turning wild and weird into the dark side of Etsy.
See, that's what I'm saying. Thank you, Teresa. Thank you.
Oh man. Donna said the only thing we could think was it was a werewolf, but in our mind those just didn't exist. And honestly, if you go down south, like Dogman is not a term that people use. They call it a werewolf or the Rougarou.
It's still a scary thought.
Ron, I don't know if you got it or not, but Trackway said to set up 2 cameras if you got them.
Yeah,
said,
I wasn't coming for any kind of investigation as usual. I was coming for this, but I brought these along because we're going to there's like a paranormal type thing that you can do, and we're going to do that one. One of the mines is supposedly it's got some paranormal activity. They've had orbs and Bigfoot and other weird things going on out there, UFOs. And so I just brought the thermal and what was it, a couple other things, but I didn't bring any of the actual cameras. So
bummer.
Yep, I got this thing. That's all I've got.
Hey, it works. It works.
It works in a pinch.
So we've had a really good show tonight, guys. Thanks for Jesus.
Yes.
My room over here is trying to take me out again. But yeah, it's been good. We got Beth on the show, man. We got Beth live with us.
Hey,
Finally.
I do have a question though, Joe.
Yeah.
I was contacted by someone who was seeking information, and I told him we'd pass this along because it's what we do. And I've already answered it, but I'm going to let other people answer it. If they've had any issues with cattle mutilations, any kind of animal mutilations, whatever, on their farms, contact us because someone's interested. That's about all I can say about that right now. You know what I'm talking about, though. It seems that there is this belief that West Virginia has a chupacabra.
It's the chupa thingy, man. That's what we call it here.
No, we don't. Yeah, chupa thingy. It's by Taco Bell. But yeah, no, for real. If anybody has any kind of issues with that, or knows of any kind of anything that may fall into that range, get a hold of us. I'm curious at this point.
Yeah, because it's not something like cattle mutilations. We'd had one of those out on our farm, but it wasn't like it was mutilated in the field. This thing was drug out into the woods.
Well, they're looking for things that are out there.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be that something you can just kind of write off as a coyote or wolves, whatever, bear.
According to Mountain Monsters, here in Putnam County, West Virginia, Bigfoot keeps a chupacabra as a pet.
Well, no. That's what started this. So yes, what you're saying.
That's what started this.
Yeah.
Call Bill. Just tell Bill.
It's your
Tell
fault,
him to go
Bill.
fix him. Oh God. Hey Jen, what's going on? Good to see you in the house.
Good.
Then let's see. Yeah, I think that's all the new folks that's popped in here in the last few minutes. Remember,
How many
everybody,
y'all out there?
go like that video over on YouTube and share that with everybody you know. Tell them to go and subscribe to Wild and Weird Radio because we got all kinds of crazy stuff we're doing that you definitely want to keep up with.
I like to never got signed on this thing, so it's nice that Facebook allows hackers to do that, but not
Right.
me.
Yeah.
So,
not normal
great.
people.
Not normal people. We can't do it.
So so guys, I'm going to go back to Matt's post there where he was talking about the strange audio with the strong static field.
Oh,
This
we got
this
one
is
of those.
a weird phenomena that has been it's knocked out trail cams. Beth, have you ever, when you were going back and reviewing some of the trail cam stuff, has there ever been like a series of just blank photos on those cams? Like it's registering that there's something there, but the camera just comes back and it's like there's nothing on it, or
I don't think so.
okay.
My
I know
brother's
that-
does. He said his does. Just white.
Okay. Who was that? Your brother?
Yeah. He just said his did. His does.
Stuff just keeps falling in this freaking room, and I'm about to. I don't
He
know.
said it looks. He said it looks white, but you can barely see the trees in it. But it's just like it's weird.
Like it buzzes it out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, see that's something that it's been observed on a few other folks' trail cams I know that do trail cam observations, as well as the folks who use paranormal equipment for when they're out doing audio samples. Right? They'll get this weird static fuzz that'll overwhelm everything for a brief moment and then it'll fade off. And it's similar to what Matt was talking about there with the BFRO report from the Cascades, where the recorder was running and you hear that swell of white noise come up to the point where you cannot hear the people who were sitting right beside the microphone, and then it goes back down. And while they're there,
My phone does that.
their leg went weird. Yeah, your phone does that. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we can't say too much about it, but I can tell you that it has been recorded. That
Yeah.
She has absolutely recorded it. So
yeah.
you'll see it soon. That's all I can say.
Yeah, you'll see it soon. Like and when you've got that kind of stuff happening, you're getting it on audio, but some of these trail cams are doing it too. You're seeing electronic interference. Now, they're attributing that to the same kind of phenomena as being zapped because they felt that sensation in their legs and then it was gone, and it correlated with the static field. Now, would that be Bigfoot related, or could that have been one of these higher intelligent lights that are moving around? And it came within close proximity, and the radiation or the electromagnetic field is what interfered with the recording apparatus, because these are recording digitally. So it's an electronic device, it could meddle with those working parts.
That does correlate. I mean, it does make sense.
Yeah. Adam, what do you think?
Absolute correlation. Makes sense to me too.
And I have now that that's what the zap, like I have been out in the field and felt like that weird, uneasy, sick to my stomach feeling. Now
Right.
that I have felt, but and turned around. But I thought maybe it was a little bit like they were describing it was something a little bit more. But if that's the feeling of confusion and kind of anxious and sick to your stomach, I've got those feelings. And it's like sometimes my ears will ring.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So with that said, it's really interesting that the BFRO is starting to look at some of these other phenomena that are starting, they're acknowledging it essentially. It's really blown up over there. I've been sharing it over onto the Wild and Weird page for everybody to kind of look at and go through. But I wanted to talk about it tonight with this show because we're talking about wood knocks, we're talking about vocalizations, we're talking about the phenomena, and when we're doing that, we always talk about all aspects of it. And when you're dealing with some of these things that are doing these wood knocks, we don't even know if they're wood knocks. Like we've heard crazy wood knocks, but it could be something that's making like a sound with its mouth, or it could be clapping its hands.
Two energy forces colliding.
Right.
Mm-hmm. That's what I thought.
And we don't know what these things are. And
Demons.
then what is it?
Demons.
Really? And then we go into this other side of stuff where you've got the tree structures. There's a lot of people. The trees. Oh wait, is that one of the photos?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Have him send those to you, Beth, and then
will you send those to me?
Yeah.
He said he will.
Okay, I don't need all of them. I just need about 4 or 5, or however many. If it's only 4 or 5, just send those. But even just a couple will do fine. I want to take a look at those.
Okay. He said he's going to show the few before to show that there was no fog or anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that way you can see that it was just something interfering with it.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Perfect.
I'll tell you this, Joe. You have to remember, Wayne is the first one who told us about experience.
He was.
Anything like they're talking about, that zapping,
Yeah, and before you came on, I brought him up and his how he'd kind of introduced us to that.
Yeah.
So Finding Trackway says all suspect wood knocks sound exactly the same. Listen, little to no deviation. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Now, when you look at them on a spectrograph, you can see some subtle deviation. There's sharpness drop off. There's some of them with intensity. You can see the difference in intensity, but what we're audibly hearing almost sounds the same. But Tom says, how many times have you had wood knocks in the winter? I think 99% of wood knocks are just trees that are frozen and pop. I've only ever heard a couple during the winter. Most of the wood knocks I've heard are like this time of year and moving from this time of year into October.
Yeah.
But like I've heard what you're talking about, the trees popping in the winter, that being frozen. I've heard that snap, and it's a little bit more shrill. It's a sharper tone.
Yeah.
More of a crack than a thump. But with all of that, and with what we're looking at here, we've got a lot of different stuff going on. They're starting to acknowledge some of the more bizarre phenomena that goes in hand with the Bigfoot phenomena. And it might not be hand in hand interlocked, but they're happening simultaneously. They're happening close enough in relation that you have to compartmentalize some of this stuff. So the tree structure debate. There's a ton of people that sit on various sides of the tree structure debate. And like some of them, honestly, I can see where like, oh yeah, that's weird. But the majority of these tree structures I see, there's a storm damage, there are tree falls. They're not like entire trees that have been moved from one area to another and laid down somewhere, that's a totally different phenomena. That's something that takes some doing. It's not a tree just falling out of the sky. That doesn't happen. So,
I have a cypress that out behind my house, probably a good 50 yards back, maybe 100. It grows on its side. It up about a foot, then it curves over and is just parallel to the ground.
And a lot of those were done by the tribal people here.
I mean, this cypress is probably 50 years old or something.
Oh, interesting.
It's not that old.
And see, that kind of stuff, those are some of the tree finding things that really interest me. One, there's a few things that could have happened. It could have been a baby and had a larger tree fall on it, and as it grew, it just kind of, grew its way up. But a lot of the First Nations tribes here would go through and they would do that to trees on purpose, and they would grow in a certain direction to point to whatever area, maybe water or where they're headed, they could just read the trees because the trees were literally road markers.
Well, it pointed to an area that used to be. I was going to ask Beth about this, but like used to be a secret school area during my younger years. Like I'd leave the house late at night and kind of learn things. I just wondered if Beth did something similar.
No, what was it like? Learn.
Just stuff that might relate to this type of thing. It'd be late at night and you would just leave by yourself and maybe have some of those missing time period.
Missing time, sleepwalk incidents.
Yeah, when I was younger, like there were a couple of things that were strange and that happened. I can't go into it a lot, but there have been quite a few instances that didn't make sense at some point in my younger years.
Okay.
Men in Black says, have any of you primates felt out of phase with reality since the eclipse? Have you experienced glitches in the Matrix? Again,
no,
calls
because I saved your lives. We've been over this.
Ron saved our lives.
And here it is. This is the actual eclipse crystal that I found. This is what saved your miserable planet, as the Men in Black like to call it. Yeah, this crystal right here. That's it.
That's a cool one.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, the Trackway says wood knocks, pops, double pops. That unnerving is all get out. Yoo-hoo and the huh sound. Yeah. Those are all wild. We've recorded several of those kind of phenomena.
Mm-hmm.
I played we started off the show doing with the hello script. That Seth had slowed down. I played the original farm clip.
Yeah.
And then I ran the hello sound for him.
Play that again. I want to hear that again.
Okay, it plays kind of low. I'm gonna play it regular speed, and then I'm gonna play it at Seth's 50% slower.
Yeah.
Kill that. Kill that. Kill that.
All right, and here's the slowed down.
Kill that. Kill that.
Weird, man.
Yep. Finally, Trackway says, I hate the yoo-hoo tone. Yeah. Men in Black says backwater planet. We never called it miserable, though it is that too. Anita Allen says, Adam, I'll send you photos later. Nobody can find a cause, but I suspect BF are doing it. When you look at some of the structures like from the Olympic project, those nest sites, those are hand woven. There's something weaving those items together, and they're meticulously made, right? These nest sites are without a doubt one of the most critical discoveries in the Bigfoot world over the last several decades. But then we get into some of these ones where it's just like clearly storm damage. And it's storm damage that just happened to fall, and like a bunch of them fell together, and you got X's and star patterns that are made up, and they're of varying age. That's the biggest tell sign, is that they're of varying age in different states of decay, but they're all kind of just staggered there. And those sounds are, or not sounds, but those structures are just what they are. They're storm damage structures, or they're things that have fallen into place, and they've been there forever. They're nothing like the nests. Nothing like the nest. Now, I've seen some stuff that have made me question. Russ Jones has listed some sites. I think he called them perch points, or the it's not a crow's nest, but like what a sniper would have used. And we've found several of those in the past in various places. Those look, they're made. Like they've been made. You can tell when you're standing in it that this is something that's been made. It's not just something that happened, because normally you can see others from it when you're there. And that's the same thing that you saw at the nest site. Same type of construction there. You can see multiples from one. So, you know, it's one of those things where those structures are made, but a lot of the storm damage stuff, you know, you see a bunch of it. If you follow any of the Bigfoot pages, your Bigfoot pages are littered with Bigfoot did this. So, but you know, there are some that are more purposeful, if that makes sense. And when you see that purpose in it, that's when it starts to kind of lean out of the probably not to into the, well, let's take a deeper look at this. What, like, and I know Adam, you'd mentioned the one that the tree had been bent and it grew that way.
Mhm.
And then Beth, I know you found some interesting structures.
Pulled up hill, the tree that's been pulled up hill and pulled around another one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're moving something that size, that's just that is what it is. That's a storm's not going to do that. Tom says, "Where's Ron at? I'm curious. He said he was digging rocks, but never asked." I don't think he can hear us either. He's out in the Midwest digging rocks.
Undisclosed location.
Yeah.
Arkansas. Crystal City of the world over here.
Then we've got...
I'm not lying.
Men in Black said, yes, reply to Tom Swigger. Provide us with Ron Lanham's current location. Oh, yeah, you got a bunch of them there.
There's a few of them there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
It's not bad. It's not bad at all. Flip you around. Well, that was exciting. There we go.
So, we've got...
Whatever.
Yay.
we're hitting the 2-hour mark, guys. Is there anybody else out there that's got some experiences they want to share? Any strange structures that you might have seen that you want to talk about, or any kind of wood knock experiences that you've heard you'd like us to read off? Go ahead and throw those in here now, or forever hold your peace.
Or chupacabras, yeah,
chupa thingies. Finding the Trackway says, I kept finding half-broke maples about 3 miles around and snapped about 22 to 32 inches up, and each pointed to hunting stands. Ah. That's what I'm talking about with the marking and it's pointing like this is over here, or don't go over here.
They do my cameras like that.
What is he building with all those crystals? Send agents to Arkansas immediately. Tom says he found a group of maple trees there. Lisa says, Joe, hello video for giggles. When you run the sound, try Xinghua. Is that an app, or is it a what is that? Brandy says clear quartz are my favorite.
Does anybody else see that little guy on his shirt looks like another person on here when he's not scooted back?
Oh, yeah. So it said about 30 inches, square acre, all been over. Then pine trees in a structure form.
Sponsored by Vault-Tec.
Sponsored by Vault-Tec. Not Bethesda. Definitely not Bethesda.
No, Vault-Tec. By the way, first episode, I watched it last night on here because, amazing. Absolutely amazing.
No, I'm 5 episodes in. It's great.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Nailed
Anita
it.
Allen says, in my area, they're doing much lighter looking structures now. I think it's an adaptation to hide them from people.
I would hide from people too.
Donna Ho says, well, in the Sierras, we worked for a rancher on the Monday following Easter Sunday. There was a cow that had been mutilated and the baby had been taken.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's out in the high Sierras. That place is rife with Bigfoot stuff and UFOs.
Yep.
Anita Allen says, I've got one bent tree here and they seem to be farming mushrooms. See, that's something that I've been curious about because I've had several areas where I've been walking out through the woods and then I come up on like trees that have been laid in an order almost. And they're all trees that are mushroom producing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like they've all got chicken of the woods, hen of the woods, different types of decaying mushrooms that are edible that are all right there. Then trees, where's that? Tom said there's a old Indian burial ground that's less than 50 yards from both of the tree structures.
Wow. That's crazy.
Interesting. Jen says 4 trees between 10 to 30 foot long, 20 foot up in another double trunk tree in the pattern of an asterisk.
Ooh. That's harder to. That's kind of hard to.
Yeah.
Say, storm damage, but it could happen.
Then let's see.
That freeze-dried fruit. I'm searching for all the cranberries.
Yeah, those are some pretty interesting things you guys have been sending over to us, guys. Those are I'd like to see some of those or pictures of some of them if you had them.
Oh yeah, someone had asked when we're going to do the next In Focus episode. Do you remember? The
once a month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We'll be getting on that probably within the next couple weeks. So,
well, as we say, the next one's in May. We already did the April one.
Did we do it?
Yep, we did it the very first week of April. We had it hit a Thursday, and that's the first one we did. And then, so we still got a couple weeks, and we'll do it.
Okay, yeah, a couple weeks is what I was figuring anyway. So that works out good. So yeah.
Finding the Trackway says they seem to like walnuts, and I would say probably because of the walnuts.
I like walnuts.
Good protein source.
There's not very many of those in here either. They short you on walnuts.
Of course they do. Walnuts are expensive now. They're like $20 a bag.
It's a bag full of bananas. I mean,
because bananas are cheap.
Just got to go through it and pull them out. Got some almonds. No worry. Okay.
Got another one.
Anita said, Joe, I sent you the photo. I'm going to go look. Man, I just want to look at. I just want to look at my messages.
Guys, I'll be sure to hit that like, share, and subscribe thing and, do all that.
Oh my gosh, the temperature's plummeting here.
What you got?
It's dropping 20 degrees between now and the next 2 hours.
What were you guys up to?
It was like up in the almost 70 degrees today, and now it's currently 59, and it's gonna go down to 38.
That's insane. Someone needs to get on that weather modification, whatever thing.
Right?
Weather modifier. A walnut.
Oh, see, here's a perfect, Anita. This one is a perfect example of what I was talking about. The ones that they would use for pointing, and the age is probably about right too. I'm gonna throw this one up here and let you guys see that. Yeah, this is a really good one.
That was a delicious walnut.
Isn't it weird how some of the walnuts taste great and the other ones taste like cardboard?
Yep, it is. That was a good one though.
There we go. See that?
Oh, look at that. That's cool.
That is an old
trail
Native American way of pointing to water or towards some kind of a resource that they're after.
That's cool.
I found quite a few of those up here.
Yeah, and what that is, that leader that's going up, that's a branch. That originally was a branch.
Mm-hmm.
And they've cut that flat piece right here at that looks like the elbow joint. That was cut. That was the original top leader for the tree. And that became the new leader was a branch going vertical.
Wow.
Huh.
Then I'm going to go grab some of these other ones right quicks, because some of those are really neat. Thank you, Anita.
I was looking at them while you were talking. It just
She sent them to you too?
Yeah. They're fantastic.
That looks good. All right, you crazy kids. I'm going to have to go. I got to buy, I don't know, probably about 200 crystals I got to wrap up and put in the vehicle to get ready. So, yeah, it's going to be fun. It's a lot of fun.
So
I'll tell you what, if you never,
crystal.
You should have got some of that packing popcorn stuff I had here.
Oh, I should have. I totally should have. I really didn't think that, we'd find anything like that. But yeah. If you ever get a chance to do it, I highly suggest you try some crystal mining. It's pretty interesting. It's fun stuff. It's a lot of cool stuff out there. And the eclipse was amazing as well, from up there. So that was awesome. A lot of good energy, a lot of good people. Just to let you know, there wasn't anything negative. I know everybody was like, "Oh, negative," but no, it was great. We had a lot of fun. Had some incredible people up there, and I met some.
Well, Ron, you luckily missed it. Like almost everybody in town around me got raptured, and
did they?
Cars were crashing into each other. It was utter pandemonium.
That's amazing.
Planes came out of the sky.
I didn't see that. No, I didn't see
Dogs
that.
and cats are getting along.
Yeah. I mean, it was crazy, but no, it was really good. We had a lot of good energy, a lot of good people up there, and we met a very incredible lady, Miss Moses was her name, believe it or not, and wow, just incredible energy, great person, and I just wanted to give her a shout out because I told her I would, and I'll give another shout out because they didn't ask for it, and I didn't tell them I was going to do it, but this is the kind of stuff that you want. You want people who care about other people more than they pretty much care about themselves. And one of the mines that we went to did exactly that. They went to the steps of almost as we go to. Like if you did this and you didn't find something, we'd make sure you got something out of it. You see?
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really awesome. Only takes in a small amount of people per day. Could book 50 if he wanted to, but he only takes in about, 15 or 12? 12. Sorry, 12. Takes in 12. And you're guaranteed to find something pretty much, and you do. So big shout out there to Jimmy at Pine Ridge. And that place is awesome. If you get to go. That's all I'm going to do.
So what's it called? Pine Ridge what?
Pine Ridge. It's a Pine Ridge crystal mine, and it's awesome.
Sounds about like my time on Pine Ridge up in South Dakota.
There you go.
Just amazing.
Just amazing.
Yep.
So something else is just amazing. There's some wood snot, and that's all.
Look at that. That's cool.
Yep, those are a jelly fungus.
Mm-hmm. I haven't seen that for a long time.
And those are all edible. That was what Anita was talking about with the mushroom farm. It's called witch's butter or wood ear, wood snot.
Yeah. And is this in the same family as star jelly?
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah,
is it from the same family?
Yeah, same family as star jelly. That's exactly how it gets there.
It's star jelly.
Well, Ron, thanks for hopping on for a few minutes and hanging out with us. And it's been a real fun show, man.
Yeah, good to see you.
Next week we'll be back to usual.
We're back to usual.
thanks everybody that has. We're gonna go ahead and round her out right now. So while you're here with us, Ron and Beth, thanks for jumping on. We're gonna have you back on again soon, Beth.
Yeah,
It's great.
that was real fun.
And I'm glad you actually got to be on one of the lives.
Yeah, I love it.
And we're definitely glad to have you on more.
Definitely.
It's been fun, guys. Thank you everybody who sat here and hung out and went and smashed that like button. Thanks to everybody who supports and sponsors this show and keeps it free for eons and eons to come. I'm scrolling that at the bottom again. You guys are all awesome. Everybody that has contributed to this show over the last year, because we're coming up on our year anniversary of doing lives, and you guys are great. Y'all are fantastic. And it's really been something cool to see. James Nelson here right at the end says fall of 21, spring of 23, maybe a dozen different times heard wood knocks and howls and whoops at my cabin near Hawking Hills.
There you go.
You're
That's
up there in
awesome.
Bigfoot territory too. You got the Bigfoot festival that happens right up there in your backyard. And but thank you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. It's been an awesome show. We've had a great amount of stuff that was shared tonight. We got to talk about some really cool things that are starting to happen within the research communities, and the more open-mindedness, the better that we can get. Adam Good, thanks for joining us tonight, man. As the world's greatest co-host. The Men in Black love farts. Never forget it, guys. Adam, any words of wisdom before we go?
Actually, I wanted to say very quickly, we were talking about, cattle mutilation and the UFO and all that. That in South America, I forget exactly where, but Witnesses of Another World, this documentary, this fella, Juan Perez, went up to a UFO on his horse, climbed a ladder, looked in, and witnessed beings inside butchering an animal.
Wow.
That is very interesting. What documentary was that on?
Witness of Another World has Jacques Vallée in it as well.
Okay. I have to check that out. Witnesses of Another World or Witness of Another World?
Witness of Another World. It's so good. It's really good.
Definitely have to check that out, guys. Go look it up.
Wow, that'd be scary.
Big shout out to everybody tonight. You guys are all being great. Thanks for hanging out. Ron, any last words?
No, not really. Doesn't surprise me that aliens come down here to get some hamburger. I mean, come on.
Yeah, last words.
Good night. Thanks for having me. Good night to everybody else.
Anytime. Now you know. Now you figured out how to get in, so we're good. We're set. We can make this happen. And thanks for everybody for coming and hanging out. You guys are all awesome. Remember, stay safe out there. Hopefully, you guys aren't being too affected by this inclement weather we're having. If you see high waters, do not wade into them. Just stay safe. It's not worth it.
Don't chase orbs. Don't get in high water.
That's right. Don't chase orbs. Don't get in high water.
Yep.
Sound advice.
And over just can take your car away.
Right.
Both.
It absolutely can.
Both.
So you guys stay safe out there. And remember, if you're out in the woods and you see an orb along with a Bigfoot, there's more than just us that's taking those reports now. We're not alone. Finally, stay wild and weird, everybody, because we know the BFRO is now. End it.